Who the hell ruined my wedding? And you, this girl, are a cause. Your husband will die in the altar. Won't succeed.
God forbid!
It's just a dream.
No, Mommy, it's a warning.
The dream always began the same way. Amara stood in the middle of a large empty hall, barefoot, dressed in a wedding gown that felt too heavy for her to move. The hall had no windows, no doors, just darkness, stretching endlessly around her. A single dim light hung above, flickering as if unsure whether to stay alive or not. Then she would hear it, dramatic, slow clapping sounds. A slow clap, soft at first, then louder, then closer. "Congratulations, Amara," a voice whispered behind her. "You finally married death." She would turn, slowly, afraid of what she would see. And there he was. A dark figure. No face, no eyes, no mouth. Just a human silhouette. But his hands bled. Thick, red blood, dripping from the fingers, pooling at his feet, crawling like ants towards her own toes. And then, the worst part, the thing would lift its hand and point at her. She chose wrong. And the price will be collected. Then she would wake up gasping, drenched in sweat, her heart pounding like a drum. It had happened 9 times. 9 nights in a row. And tonight, the night before her wedding, the dream returned with even more aggression. This time, when the figure spoke, it wasn't a whisper. It was a roar. "He will not survive the night." Amara woke up screaming. Her mother, Mama Chinyere, burst into the room, half asleep and worried. "Amara! Chineke! What is it again?" But Amara couldn't talk. She couldn't breathe. She held her chest, sobbing. "Is it the dream again?" her mother asked softly, kneeling beside her. Amara nodded. Her mother sighed a deep, exhausted sigh. "My daughter, listen to me," she said, holding her face. "Wedding jitters can do this to someone. Tomorrow is a big day. It's normal to be scared." "This isn't fear, Mama," Amara cried. "This is a warning. Something bad will happen to Chike tomorrow. I feel it." Mama Chinyere sat down beside her on the bed. "Amara, nothing is happening to anybody. These dreams, you have been having them since you were a child. Always dramatic, always scary, and nothing ever came true. This one feels different." Her mother placed a hand on her back. "Tomorrow is your wedding. Focus on that. Sleep. Rest your mind." But how could she rest? She knew what she saw, and the dream didn't feel like imagination. It felt like a prophecy. The morning sun rose too quickly for her liking. Her room buzzed with activity, cousins rushing in and out, makeup artists unpacking brushes and powders, tailors making last-minute adjustments to dresses, aunties shouting orders in the corridor. Everyone was excited. Everyone, except Amara. She sat quietly, her eyes hollow, her mind elsewhere. Amara attempted a smile, but it curved only halfway. Inside her, fear sat like a stubborn stone. As the stylist brushed her hair, her cousin Ada whispered into her ear, "You still did think that dream?" Amara nodded slightly. Ada hissed. "Me, if not me, I forgo see Pastor quick. "I told Mama," Amara said softly. "She said I'm overreacting." "Ah," Ada scoffed. "African parents, anything spiritual, they will still say you're imagining." Amara bit her lip to keep from crying again. Ada touched her shoulder gently. "Look, Chike loves you. Today is the beginning of your new life. Don't let one dream spoil it." If only Ada knew that it wasn't just one dream. It was a repeated warning, but Amara nodded anyway. She didn't want to sound insane. By noon, she was dressed, stunning, glowing, beautiful, but still troubled. When her father entered the room and saw her, he became emotional. "My daughter," he whispered, holding her hands. "You look like a queen." Amara forced another smile. "You are not happy," he observed quietly. She swallowed hard. "Papa, what if something bad happens today?" Her father chuckled lightly. "Nothing bad will happen. I am here. Your mother is here. God is here." But was God here? Her dreams made her question everything. Across town, Chike, her groom, stood in front of his mirror doing something strange. He was staring at his phone, reading a text message he received at dawn. A message that made him sweat, made his heart drop, made him consider running away. The message read, "Don't marry her, or you'll regret it." Sent from an unknown number, no name, no clue who it was, no explanation. And that wasn't all. 10 minutes later, another message came. "You can't escape fate, Cheek." His best man, Ebuka, walked in at that moment. "Guy, why you did look like Pesiwe drink kerosene?" Ebuka laughed. Chike quickly locked his phone. "Nothing, just wedding tension." "Wedding tension? You? The most relaxed man in Nigeria?" Ebuka joked, adjusting his bow tie. But Chike wasn't laughing. Ebuka noticed. "Guy, for real, what's wrong?" Chike hesitated. "You won't believe it. Try me." Chike sighed deeply. "I got a message. A weird one." Ebuka raised a brow. "From who?" "I don't know the person." "Okay. What did it say?" Chike hesitated again, but then showed him the phone. Ebuka read it and froze. "Guy, this one passed normal prank call." "I know." "Do you think it's someone from your past?" "No." "Do you think it's someone from her side?" "No." "Then who?" "I don't know, Ebuka, but something doesn't feel right." Ebuka clapped him on the shoulder. "Guy, I beg, no let this spoil your mind. People are mad. Sometimes random numbers send nonsense." Chike didn't reply. He didn't want to admit how scared he was. Guests filled the church. The choir sang. Photographers adjusted their lenses. The bridal train lined up in sparkling gold outfits. Everything looked perfect. Everyone looked happy. Except Amara. As she stepped out of the car, a strange breeze blew, cold and sharp, even though the sun was hot. Her veil fluttered violently. She felt something brush her arm. Then she heard it. A whisper. "Don't enter." Her blood ran cold. She looked around. No one was close enough to speak to her. No one was paying attention. but she heard it clearly again. Don't marry him. Her eyes filled with tears instantly. Her father noticed and rushed to her side. My daughter, what is it? I heard something. Heard what? She looked into his eyes, trembling. A voice. Her father took a deep breath. Fear can do things to your mind. Let's go inside. He held her arm firmly and led her slowly into the church. Amara felt like she was being pushed into a dark hole. As the ceremony began, everything seemed normal. Chike looked handsome and calm. Amara looked angelic, though troubled. The choir sang beautifully. Guests admired the couple. Then, just as the priest opened his Bible, the church doors banged open. Bam! Everyone jumped. A strange-looking old woman rushed in. Wild gray hair, barefoot, eyes red like she hadn't slept in days. She pointed straight at Amara. "You must not marry him," the woman screamed. Gasps spilled across the entire congregation. Photographers froze. Mothers reached for their children. The priest's jaw dropped. Amara's legs nearly buckled. Chike stared in confusion. The old woman kept shouting, "Amara Nwoke, if you marry him, blood will flow tonight. Death is standing beside him." Amara felt the world tilt. Her mother fainted immediately. Chike's mother stood up ready to attack the woman. "You are mad! Mad woman, get out!" But the woman didn't move. She kept staring at Amara, then at Chike, then back at Amara. She lifted a shaking hand and pointed directly at the groom. "The man beside you is not who you think he is." Dead silence. Even the electric fan seemed to stop spinning. Then, slowly, the old woman turned around and left the church, as suddenly as she entered. No one chased her. Nobody spoke. Everyone was too shocked. The priest didn't know what to say. Amara was trembling from head to toe. Her father whispered, "Do you want to continue?" But before she could answer, Chike's phone vibrated in his pocket. He checked it. Another message. From the same unknown number. One sentence. "The warning has been delivered." Chike nearly dropped his phone. Amara noticed his reaction and whispered, "What is it?" But Chike shook his head. Nothing. She didn't believe him. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. The priest cleared his throat awkwardly. "My children, shall we continue?" Everyone held their breath. Chike looked at Amara. Amara looked at Chike. For a moment, they both considered ending it right there, but love and embarrassment held them in place. Finally, Chike nodded. Amara nodded too, though fear squeezed her chest. So the priest continued. "Chike, do you take Amara?" Before he could finish, a loud crack echoed through the church. Crack! The chandelier above the altar shook violently. Everyone looked up. It shook again. Then again. Then crash! It fell straight down. Screams filled the church as people dove to the ground. The chandelier smashed into pieces, shattering like glass rain. It missed the couple by mere inches. One more step, and it would have crushed them. Amara screamed and burst into tears. Chike could barely breathe. The priest stepped back, trembling. This is not ordinary. Ebuka grabbed Chike. "Guy, this wedding is not normal, oh." Guests began to panic. Some ran outside. Some shouted prayers. Some cried. Amara's father forced her into a chair. Her mother was still unconscious. Chike's mother knelt on the floor, speaking in tongues. Everyone was shaken. Everyone except one person, Amara. Her tears dried. Her fear hardened. She stared straight at Chike and whispered, her voice cracked and broken. "Chike, what aren't you telling me?" Chike swallowed hard. He looked around, people watching, murmuring, whispering. He couldn't hide it anymore. He took Amara's hand and said quietly, "I've been getting messages." Her breath caught. "What kind of messages?" Chike hesitated, then shook his head. "I'll show you later." "No," Amara insisted. "Show me now." Chike checked the hall again. People were still in chaos. He slowly reached into his pocket, unlocked his phone, and handed it to her. Amara read the messages. Her hands grew cold. Her stomach tightened. Unknown number. "Don't marry her, or you'll regret it." Unknown number. "You can't escape fate, Chike." Unknown number. "The warning has been delivered." Amara looked up at him, tears building again. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to scare you." She shook her head slowly. "Chike, something is happening. Something bigger than us." Chike grabbed her hands and listened. "I love you. Whatever this is, we will face it together." But before she could reply, an elder marched toward them angrily. "This wedding must end now. All these signs, they cannot be ignored." Another elder stood and shouted, "The girl is cursed!" Amara gasped. Chike stood up defensively. "Don't you dare talk about her like that." But the murmurs were growing. Guests whispering, some pointing, some already leaving. The wedding was collapsing right before their eyes. Then Amara felt something. A presence behind her. Cold, heavy, dark. She turned slowly, and the room began to spin. Right at the back of the church, she saw him, the same faceless, dark figure from her dreams, standing still, staring at her. Her knees buckled. She tried to scream, but her voice vanished. Then everything went black. She fainted. When Amara fainted, she didn't fall into normal darkness. She fell into that hall again, the one from her dreams. The empty hall, the flickering light, the suffocating silence. "Not again," she whispered, trembling. Her wedding gown appeared on her body, heavy and dragging against the floor. The hall stretched endlessly. She tried to run, but her legs could barely move. Then she heard footsteps, slow, heavy, echoing. "Amara," a voice called. She froze. The faceless shadow stepped out of the darkness, tall, featureless, bleeding from the hands. She tried to scream, but her voice disappeared. Her throat felt sealed. The shadow moved closer. The blood dripping from its fingers started crawling across the floor towards her feet. She stepped back, shaking uncontrollably. "Please," she begged, "leave me alone." The shadow tilted its head. "I warned you," the voice echoed, layered and unhuman. "But you ignored me." "What do you want from me?" she cried. It pointed at her, then at Chike's direction, then back at her again. "Truth." Her heartbeat stopped for a second. What truth? You must see. Its voice cracked like thunder. You must see what he's hiding. Then the shadow stretched its hand toward her forehead. As soon as its fingertips touched her skin, the hall shattered into pieces. Amara screamed. And then the secret.
Which secret do you think Chike has been hiding from Amara? And who is this person sending Amara the secret signals to warn her about Chike? And who is Chike really? Find out in part 2 of the series. Do click on the subscribe button to find out more stories. Like and comment who is your favorite character in this story.